Apotheosis Chapter 8. Eldest Cousin Brother. Luo Zheng hasn't heard this name for a long time. He remembered that when he was young, Luo Qingyun often ran behind Luo Zheng and often called him Big Cousin Brother, Big Cousin Brother. If someone bullied Luo Qingyun, he would come crying to Luo Zheng. Calling him like this brings back memories of Luo Zheng's childhood. How beautiful those times were. He didn't expect that when he grew up, there would be internal strife in the family. Brothers gradually drifted apart for their own interests. It could be considered a great tragedy in the world. Luo Zheng nods and changes the way he calls Luo Zheng back. Cousin Qingyun, let's do it. Alas, Luo Zheng, they all say that you don't know your own identity. It seems that this saying is true. Just because I call you eldest cousin brother, you really think I'm your cousin brother? Huh. It won't be an injustice for you to die in my hands. After saying this, Luo Qingyun's sneering face suddenly exudes a powerful momentum. Being teased by Luo Qingyun's words, Luo Zheng's heart surges with anger and his face turns cold. The trace of remaining familial affection in his heart is obliterated at this point. As soon as Luo Qingyun finishes speaking, his whole body surges with purple light. With a sliding step, he rushes towards Luo Zheng at an extremely strange speed. Bang! Luo Zheng takes the punch head-on. His body retreats a few steps before he can stabilize himself. The power of this blow has unexpectedly broken through one ding. It seems that Luo Qingyun has also entered the bone refining stage with the help of the heaven and earth fortune elixir. The power of one ding is really powerful and overbearing. Before, Luo Zheng's body was already hard enough. Those skin refining stage and flesh refining stage cultivators couldn't produce much Warm current when beating him. But after taking Luo Qingyun's blow, the Warm current in his body begins to circulate crazily again. It rushes to Luo Zheng's bones from head to toe and continuously cleanses them. This feeling is too cool. While Luo Zheng is secretly enjoying himself, Luo Qingyun on the other side is like a madman. He doesn't want to give Luo Zheng a chance to breathe at all and rushes towards Luo Zheng again. Straight punch, burst punch. Elbow strike, side kick, cross kick. All kinds of fierce attacks were thrown at Luo Zheng with all their might. Warm currents flowed between Luo Zheng's bones like floodwaters. Luo Zheng could even clearly feel that the impurities in his bones were being squeezed out of his bones one by one under the scouring of the warm currents. Well done. Young Master Qingyun, beat him to death just like that. Huang Ge shouted back and forth on the high platform. His expression was extremely excited. It was as if he was more excited than when he personally went up to the arena and beat up Luo Zheng. Many of the Luo family's disciples were cheering for Luo Qingyun. However, most of them were silent at the moment. Most of the Luo family disciples at the bottom of the hierarchy still missed the Luo family of the past. Back then, the Luo family was fair and compassionate. They treated every Luo family disciple fairly. As long as you had enough talent, no matter which branch you were from, everyone would have a chance to succeed. However, after the second branch and the third branch ascended to the top, except for the people from the second branch and the third branch, other disciples from the collateral branches simply could not see any hope. Luo Zheng, the former young master, was also the last remaining member of the former Luo family. If he died, it meant that the former Luo family would never return. In the arena, Luo Zheng was constantly being beaten up by Luo Qingyun. Luo Junyi, who was sitting on the side and watching the fight, frowned. As his father, he was very clear about Qingyun's strength. After taking the heaven and earth fortune elixir and entering the bone refining stage, Qingyun's strength had already broken through by one ding. In the Luo family, except for Luo Peiran, there was no other Luo family disciple of the younger generation who could be Qingyun's opponent. He had counted very clearly just now. Luo Qingyun had already punched dozens of times in one breath. Although his punches were full of strength and vigorous like a tiger, and Luo Zheng was beaten back little by little and had no power to fight back. However, why hadn't Luo Zheng fallen down yet? On the path of martial arts, there was a saying that offense was the best defense. That was because offense was far easier than defense. No matter how strong one's body was, it would not be able to withstand a sharp attack. Not to mention others, even Luo Junyi's body would not be able to withstand Luo Qingyun's beating. This was also the reason why those body-tempering cultivation techniques, such as the Vajra cover, and the Nine-Yang Saint body, were so precious. Luo Zheng was beaten up like this by Luo Qingyun, yet he was still able to stand up. Could it be that Luo Zheng had obtained some special body-tempering cultivation technique? Or perhaps his big brother had some reservations and passed this cultivation technique to Luo Zheng before his death? When he thought of the fact that Luo Zheng was still jumping around after being beaten for 2 years, Luo Junyi's eyes lit up. Under the constant beating, Luo Qingyun became somewhat impatient. His attacks became heavier and heavier, and all kinds of ruthless moves were used on Luo Zheng's body. Purple Sandalwood Inch Force. Bang bang. He originally thought that the destructive power of the Purple Sandalwood Inch Force would be able to make Luo Zheng fall down. However, after the 6 layers of force exploded in Luo Zheng's body, Luo Zheng still stood up. His eyes became brighter and brighter as he stared straight at Luo Qingyun. This made Luo Qingyun's hair stand on end. Was this guy a monster? How could he not die after being beaten like this? Seeing Luo Zheng's gaze, Luo Qingyun's eyes revealed a panicked expression. He was already an expert in the bone-refining stage, and his strength had broken through one cauldron. It was reasonable to say that he should be able to smash a guy like Luo Zheng with a single fist. Why was this happening? What was the meaning of this gaze? Was he mocking his own incompetence? Luo Zheng's gaze not only made Luo Qingyun panic, but also incomparably angry. It seems that I have to use that move to serve you. Luo Qingyun quietly took out a small box from his clothes. The small box was the size of a palm, but it was engraved with brilliant and colorful talismans. There was also a trigger behind the small box. He pointed the front of the small box at Luo Zheng and fiercely pulled the trigger behind the box. With a ferocious expression, he roared, "Go to hell." The moment Luo Qingyun took out the small box, Luo Zheng became alert. As the young master of the family, he certainly recognized that it was the family's most precious defensive treasure, the 1,000 Revolutions Tribulation Thunder Halberd. This kind of 1,000 Revolutions Tribulation Thunder Halberd was a secret weapon made by talisman masters. 1,000 Revolutions Tribulation Thunder Halberd was sealed with talismans. It was extremely powerful and could kill the enemy in one blow if the enemy was caught off guard. However, this 1,000 Revolutions Tribulation Thunder Halberd was a one-time consumable item, and its price was extremely high. After using it once, it would be useless. Generally, it was given to the younger generation of the family for self-defense. This Luo Qingyun was actually so vicious. In a situation where his attack failed, he actually wanted to use such a vicious thing to deal with him. Although his body was tough, it would be extremely difficult for him to survive if he was hit by this thunder halberd. Luo Zheng was thoroughly angry. A thunder halberd formed by lightning shot out from the 1,000 Revolutions Tribulation Thunder Halberd and went straight to Luo Zheng. At the critical moment, he dodged and rolled on the ground. The thunder halberd, with crackling lightning, swept over Luo Zheng's head and burned a few strands of Luo Zheng's hair. Subsequently, a human target under the ring screamed. That human target was hit by the thunder halberd head-on, and its whole body was ignited with raging flames. The fierce fire instantly burned the human target into charcoal. Seeing the miserable state of the human target, everyone's face turned ugly. This Luo Qingyun had gone too far. Just now, his thunder halberd could have hit anyone on the drill ground. What if it didn't hit the human target, but a member of the Luo family? Luo Qingyun simply didn't take the lives of the other members of the Luo family seriously. Luo Zheng got up from the ground. His cold face seemed to be frozen. He clenched his fists and said, "After fighting for so long, are you satisfied now? Is it my turn now?" Not good. Seeing the sudden change in the ring, Luo Junyi slapped the table and stood up. He was about to jump down from the high platform and rush into the ring. He had already noticed the abnormality in Luo Zheng's body. This vicious boy must have been planning for a long time to live in humiliation. Unfortunately, no matter how fast Luo Junyi was, there was still some distance between the high platform and the ring. This little bit of time was enough for Luo Zheng to make his move. Purple Sandalwood Inch Punch. Before Luo Qingyun could recover, he was hit by Luo Zheng's fist. Luo Zheng's punch was very clever. The inch punch blasted into Luo Qingyun's body, and in an instant, it exploded 7 times. Puff, 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 puff. After 7 muffled sounds, 7 bloody holes burst out from several parts of Luo Qingyun's body. They were the roots of his arms and legs, as well as his dantian and qi acupoints. These parts wouldn't harm Luo Qingyun's life, but it would make it difficult for him to cultivate again for the rest of his life. One move. The insufferably arrogant second young master of the Luo family was crippled by Luo Zheng. The Luo family's drill ground was completely silent. Who would have thought that the human target that people beat up at will on ordinary days would have such strength? Some of the Luo family's disciples who had offended Luo Zheng suddenly felt a chill run down their spines. They thought that Luo Zheng was easy to bully. They didn't expect that he was actually hiding such terrifying strength. He defeated Luo Qingyun with only one move. What about himself? Luo Qingyun's face was full of disbelief. He thought that with his bone-refining stage strength, dealing with Luo Zheng would be as simple as dealing with a 3-year-old child. But why was Luo Zheng suddenly so strong? He had taken the heaven and earth fortune elixir, so his cultivation speed was many times faster than Luo Zheng's. Luo Qingyun fell back with deep unwillingness. Luo Junyi rushed over in time and supported him. "Qingyun, my son. Are you all right? I didn't hurt his vital parts." "He won't die," said Luo Zheng. Luo Junyi raised his head. His gentle and elegant face was already distorted. He pointed at Luo Zheng's nose and scolded, "You vicious little bastard, why did you hurt my son? Fists and feet have no eyes. Life and death are up to fate." Not to mention that this was a death match. In the past, many Luo family's disciples were injured by human targets in the ring. "Third uncle, you should know better than me," Luo Zheng said seriously. "Now that I've defeated Luo Qingyun, according to the rules, I'm no longer a human target. I can leave the Luo family freely. Ha ha ha, I let you live because of my benevolence. I didn't expect you to grow to this point." Luo Junyi put Luo Qingyun down on one side and laughed loudly. "You think I'll let you go? Don't be delusional." Luo Zheng's face darkened. He asked, "Third uncle, according to the rules of the family, I can leave the Luo family after winning the death match." "Rules?" Luo Junyi interrupted Luo Zheng's words. His distorted face showed a mocking expression. "Only your useless father would follow the rules of the family. Let me tell you, what are the rules? In the Luo family, I am the rules." Hearing his third uncle's words, Luo Zheng's face twitched twice. He wanted to swallow the man in front of him alive all the time, but he kept reminding himself to control his emotions. He must be patient. Because he knew his strength was not enough. If he wanted to take revenge, he needed to leave the Luo family and give himself time to grow. He thought he could leave justifiably after winning the death match. He didn't expect that Luo Junyi didn't intend